everybody, thank you so much for joining me today. It's my favorite day of the month, the day my book of the month box arrives, so let's check it out and see what's inside. Here at the top of the box, I have my choice for October. It is The Unmaking of June Farrow by Adrienne Young. This book is a fantasy, which I thought would be fun for the month of October, and the quick take is: determined to break a generational curse, June Farrow ventures through a shimmering door into mystery and romance. The other choices for the month of October are Starling House. This is a gothic fiction by Alex E. Hara. A literary fiction called Wellness by Nathan Hill. A thriller, When I'm Dead by Hannah Morrissey. A literary fiction, The Unsettled by Ayanna Mathis. And a contemporary fiction called The Leftover Woman by Jean Kwok. In addition to the book of the month choice, I also added 3 add-ons. The first one is by V.E. Schwab, The Fragile Threads of Power. Whoa, this is a big book. One of my absolute favorite book of the month books ever is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. I have not read anything else by this author, and I believe there are 3 books that go along with this one as a prequel, so I'm hoping I'm not going to miss too much by not reading those first, but this was offered as an add-on, so I thought I would check it out. This is also a fantasy, and the quick take is a new epic fantasy about power, responsibility, and fate. The next book is The Last Time I Lied by Riley Sager. This is actually my book club's book choice for October, so that is why I ordered this one. This one is actually classified as a horror. The quick take on this one is: a summer camp shuts down when 4 girls go missing. 15 years later, we find out the chilling reason behind their disappearance. A few months ago, I read another book by this author, The Only One Left, and I love that one as well. So it'll be interesting to read this horror novel. And my last book of the month is a memoir by Amy Schumer. This one is called The Girl with the Lower Back Tattoo. And sometimes I just love a fun Hollywood memoir. So that is why I chose this one. The quick take is: the insecurities she writes about are so funny and relatable that she becomes less the comic behind the mic and more your friend who you have more in common with than you ever thought. At the bottom of the box, it looks like I have not 1, but 2 book of the month bookmarks. It looks like The Ghost from Miss Pac-Man, which I played this weekend, and I'm still really good. High score, that'd be me. Now let me review my September books for you. In September, I read 4 book of the month books. 2 of them I absolutely loved. 2 of them I did not love at all. So let's go over those. Let's start with the book of the month choice for September, The Stranger Upstairs. This was a thriller. The main character, Sarah Slade, buys a house that was a murder-suicide house. It has been empty for years, and she was going to redo it and flip it. So we get to follow along with her in the process. I did not like the main character at all. I just didn't love anything about this book. So it was a little spooky, but that's not why I didn't like it. It fell flat for me. Next, we're gonna move to one that I absolutely adored. I love this book so much. This was a May book of the month choice, and it's called The Collected Regrets of Clover. The main character, Clover, is a death doula, which means she goes and works with people, sits with them during their last days of life. She helps them get all of their things in order. She listens to them as they tell her stories. They tell her about their regrets, their life, so many things. I mean, she just has a gift for helping people in their final days before death. Unfortunately, although she's gifted at that, she's super awkward in the real world. She doesn't do well in social situations. She does not get emotionally attached. But the client they focus on in the book, Claudia, really helps Clover break out of her shell. And this book is a story of that. And I loved it so much. And I just loved watching this story unfold. I loved it so much, I actually kind of read it slowly because I didn't want to be done with these characters. So many great quotes in the book. One of my favorites is: the secret to a beautiful death is to live a beautiful life. Putting your heart out there, letting it get broken, taking chances, making mistakes. So this was one of my favorite books this year. It got the coveted heart in the Book of the Month app. I use those sparingly, so if I give it a heart, you know I loved it. So highly recommend this one, The Collected Regrets of Clover. We'll go to another book that I did not love. This was Miracle Creek by Angie Kim. This was an April 2019 Book of the Month choice, and I ordered this one because I recently read Happiness Falls by the same author, and I loved it so much I wanted to read another book by her, and I just did not love this one. One reason is it spent a lot of the book in court. A single mom is accused of killing her autistic son, and we're following the court case. It makes me super uncomfortable reading about the attorneys. They'll do anything, twist anything so that they can win the case. I just didn't love it. It was a very slow read. It took me forever to finish this book. So that was Miracle Creek by Angie Kim. And then I'm gonna put this as my favorite book of the month. This was an add-on, I believe. Yeah, this was an add-on from last month. This is a brand new book by Jessica Knoll called Bright Young Women. And this book was so amazing. This is a fiction book, but it is based on the true events of Ted Bundy, the serial killer, and it starts with his spree in Tallahassee, Florida at the sorority house. But the unique thing about this book is they are not giving him, they never even mention his name in here. They call him the defendant. This book is not to glorify or give him any more attention. This is to give attention to the victims, to the women, to all of those stories that we never heard because all of the attention was put on him. He was glamorized, and I love that this story focused on the victim. Yes, it was tough to read at times, especially knowing it was based on true events, but I think this is an important book to read, and I think it's a great reminder that when we're sensationalizing these people in the press that are getting so much media coverage for the terrible things that they're doing, there are so many bright young women that we need to hear their stories. We need to know more about them. So I love this book. I highly recommend it. I think this is my favorite book of the year so far. I think I said that last month, but I love this book. Go pick it up. I'm definitely reading more books by Jessica Knoll. So if you have any recommendations, let me know. But this was my favorite book. Highly recommend it. And that was it. That was everything in my October Book of the Month box. If you're interested in trying Book of the Month, I will have a coupon code in the description below. So be sure to check that out. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and please subscribe.